We spend winter building the cars, we spend the spring, summer, and fall racing.
And although Caitlin Wild may seem like a typical teenager,
she's been like that all of her life.
She sees life differently than most teens her age.
And I love doing things that people said that I couldn't do.
Caitlin spent last summer touring Europe.
Speaks French most of the time.
Lifeguarding. And focusing her eye for art.
I've always loved to go against the stereotypes.
It was here many years ago at Wilbur Memorial Hill that Caitlin first found her need for speed.
Everyone's always called me a wild child. I've always been a real tomboy.
Okay, you want to pull the wheels? We check the brakes. You can almost play a little song on these cables. It's the oldest form of amateur racing in the world. These things only got 3/8 of an inch steering. There's just some techniques, you know. Like this nose, see, it has to hit all three places at the same time. And we're fortunate. We've got a lot of good sponsors. You know, this paint is about $500 a pint. It's a beautiful car is always a nice thing. Everything we do is psychological.
But it's Caitlin's passion for competition that drives her to race.
Oh yeah, we gotta go away.
You're legal.
Good luck. Have fun, babe.
And they're off. Here they come. Both drivers driving nice and straight, neck and neck.
She did really good.
I just want to clean it with some lighter fluid because I'm worried the dirt got in it. And all the dirt comes off the wheel with the lighter fluid.
Oh, look at that kid is duct taped into his car.
034. That makes Caitlin Wild the overall winner.
It's always fun to win. If I have an absolute blast and I get third place, I'm still going to go home happy. Now I've really started focusing more on helping new racers.
She's a pretty tough driver, and when it looks like you're beating her, next thing you know, she's right in front of you.
She drives her car hard.
Not a lot of people beat her.
She's one of the best in the country.
7th in the world.
It's kind of cool knowing that she's kind of blind and that she can race Soapbox Derby.
I had to overcome a lot of obstacles because of my vision. To me, it's not a disability, it's a part of life. You have one life to live, you might as well make the most of it. That's what racing's about, having fun.
Born to be wild.
It broke.
What happened to it?
The bad storm came and hit it.
The name of the bad storm, Charley.
Well, I'm looking for triple A.
And the damage from the strongest hurricane to hit Florida in more than a decade is eerily reminiscent to Hurricane Andrew. The city of Port Charlotte along Florida's west coast is a quiet retirement refuge for some Hoosiers. But today, the sounds of destruction and cleanup break that peaceful silence.
They got hit by the eye of the storm, and this is a permanent home for a lot of people. They're all retirees. Some of them just have no place to go now.
Have you got a place to stay?
Well, here or in a motel, I guess.
Fort Wayne native Tom Mader manages this mobile home community and says nothing in Indiana could prepare him for this.
This looks like a tornado, don't it? I mean, I'm from Indiana. I know what a tornado looks like, but this is a 2-mile wide tornado that just went on forever.
The hurricane opened up homes and people's lives like a photo album for all the world to see. In this town, time stood still when the 145-mile-per-hour winds in the eye wall plowed through what you see here.
Oh, it was like nothing I'd ever seen or experienced. I was in so much fear for my life. We were all trapped in our bathroom with the mattress over us. Just heard things hitting the house, not sure what to expect. We heard water dripping into our house, hitting the tile. We just kept praying and hoping. Very blessed to be alive.
Go on, Delta 1. You still paying IG?
And I'm sure there'll be a time when the initial shock wears off and finally we can sit down and think about it. But we don't have time to think about it at this point. We know what job we have to do. It's so dark out here with the lack of lights that any light is welcome at this point. We had quite a few reports of looting. However, we haven't substantiated any of it. A lot of it was homeowners coming back into their homes. Hi folks, how are you? Are you guys full-time residents?
Yeah. Well, not full-time, we just got here today.
Okay.
Winter residents.
Okay, do you have any identification on you that you can show me, please?
We came from Indiana and we didn't get here until about 5 o'clock this afternoon, so we just got here and tried to survey what was wrong with our place. We was lucky compared to a lot of people. We're happy to see you in here patrolling the park and everything because these looters are bad news.
That's why we're going to be through here quite a bit through the night, and we'll be stopping folks just like we did stop you. Okay? Folks, good luck to you, okay?
All right.
All right, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care now. No power. The stars never look so good at night. Unfortunately, we didn't want to see them this way. But when daybreak comes around, it's sort of surreal when you drive and look. It's completely changed the landscape. You see houses where there wasn't houses before.
Delta 1.
Excuse me. Delta 1, aquí está. And on night shift, we haven't seen anyone out here, and in fact, curfew goes into effect in 9 minutes. An arrest is the last resort for us. We don't want to have to do that. Our jail also is having difficulties. We can't take arrestees out there. Unfortunately, with this dark cover that we have with no lights, they see us coming a mile away, and they're able to elude us before we get on scene.
Yeah, first bit of condos just past the golf course.
Jim, did they say on the second floor?
No, he just said second to last set past the golf course.
We have to preserve the people's property or what's left of it. But you know, as soon as they pin that badge on our chest, we know what we have to do, and we know there's sacrifices. That's why they make us have a good plan for our families just for an emergency like this, so that they're well taken care of and the department knows that they have 100% of our support. Because the citizens we serve, they come first.
Well, it's something to get out of the house. Get to see people and see people you know.
Newt's a stockbroker of sorts. He knows when to buy and when to sell.
Just a little bit of entertainment, something out of the ordinary, and a happy atmosphere. Everybody seems to be in a good mood, and it's Friday night. Here we are, Cloverdale Sale Barn, night of the Friday Night Cowboys.
It's the kind of place where you can almost always find a good sale.
You smell a little bit of manure along with sawdust, but hopefully the sawdust will overrule the manure. When the bidding gets hot and heavy, you don't raise your hand, you don't pull on your ear or rub your nose, because the auctioneer might think you're bidding and you might end up buying something and you have to bid on it. Tom Freege's pretty good. He knows when a person's bidding. Mostly everyday people, country people. A lot of farmers, a lot of people that like horses. It's just a good, relaxing place, and you can get a laugh or two.
Bring him right on out. This is the alley we try them on. If they don't work here, they won't work no place.
It's a mare, and it don't look like it's too friendly. It's got good legs, good hooves. Well, all the kids like to be around horses. Everybody wants one. Whether they can talk their dad into it or not, that's another thing.
Your favorite is?
Donkeys. My favorite is horses.
How can you tell a good horse from a bad horse?
Well, if he's well behaved. If when he's the person that's riding him or showing him pulls back on the reins and he stops. Most times it's just to pass the time, and I like horses. I like to see horses.
Some people go to the movies, but you go...
I go to the sale.
In the world of higher education, residence halls have gotten a bad rap.
The whole concept behind all our design is a double-loaded corridor, 2 people to a room, bathroom down the hall.
Some IU students believe the terms dorm and dump are synonymous.
If I say dorm, you say...
We're provided with beds and desks, chairs.
Choice is the buzzword for college students of the 90s. Private apartment developers are saturating Bloomington, providing serious competition for the student housing market.
The total number of students living on campus in the last 5 to 10 years has clearly dropped.
In 1987, the student occupancy rate stood at 11,500 students. This fall, it's expected to drop to around 9,000, a decrease of 21%. Wilkie Hall sits idle, a testimony to the student exodus. A state bond will support a $28 million renovation of Wilkie. And while operating costs are now minimal, potentially 1,100 students aren't paying rent here.
Although the amenities inside these dormitories have increased over the years, many students are deciding to leave the dorm life for a more luxurious atmosphere.
This is our walk-in area. Over here is our kitchen.
Adam Knapp lives off campus.
And even if you just have cereal, it's better than eating in the dorms.
The IU sports reporter who enjoys Stephen King novels claims the dorms are a nightmare. He's lived at 3 halls on campus. That's why he's off campus.
Is this a better learning environment?
It all depends on how focused you are.
And if you think Adam has it good, take a look at this. Welcome to University Commons, a community aimed at stealing students from campus, thereby robbing IU of income. These 2- and 4-bedroom apartments feature amenities students, even adults, dream of. There's a washer and dryer in each unit, a microwave, a dishwasher, a computer center, copier and fax machine, exercise room, clubhouse, a heated pool, and nearby transportation.
Great. I love it. It's like I come home and I don't feel like I'm at school.
Freshman students Tay Foster and Sharon Moore pay $710 for room and board a month to live at a dorm on IU on campus. Here, they'll pay $365 each. They'll pick up the tab for food and utilities, but estimates indicate it'll be a lot cheaper than a dorm.
I like out here because it's close to the mall, and I also have my own privacy. This is my room.
Carnes Burney and her roommate live in the typical IU dorm, an 11 by 15-foot room complete with 2 desks, a television, mini fridge, and cable and computer hookups. It may be small, but call it home.
I think the high point, though, is just all these people that you get to meet.
Both view the big problems in dorms as noise and shared bathrooms.
A lot of people do different things in the bathroom that you wouldn't think.
I just have to rearrange my schedule so that I'm able to, study during the day, and because a lot of times the noise level is a little bit higher at night.
IU is making serious moves using serious bucks in an effort to bring students back to campus housing. Food services are improving. New theme-oriented living environments cater to students' interest and well-being. And then there's the refurbishing of Wilkie Hall, a renovation expected to provide the space, autonomy, and privacy students want. Kevin Bradley, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
Nobody hurt out here, is there?
Exclusive pictures of a tornado snaking its way across extreme eastern Hamilton County. This from the Skytrack 13 Storm Chase Unit. This is likely an F1 tornado with winds of about 100 miles per hour. It passed about a half mile from our position along 196th Street and Prairie Baptist Road. The twister bounced several times before establishing a classic funnel shape. Fortunately, most of the tornado path was through farmland, but several buildings were hit by the storm, including a barn built by Vic Barker.
We were watching the clouds, and all of a sudden we seen this finger form and start down, and then we seen it hit this, and the roof come off, and it flew. Part of it was still going probably a mile away.
And this storm didn't sound like a freight train.
Honest to God, it sounded like 2 guys in an empty pole barn, each one of them with a big piece of sheet metal, waving it up and down like this, and I looked up in the air, and I just see it going. just the very edge of it, and then it came down again, and then it disappeared.
The storm then moved into Madison County.
This is Bill Meck from 13. Tornado on the ground west of Lapel. It's an F0. Port of call, West Palm Beach, Florida. The sale and distribution of cocaine, the thin white line, is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Money is the lifeblood of drug dealers. Money, the whole issue is money. That's what drugs is all about. The bottom line is money.
And some of that dirty money is being funneled into all segments of our society.
The person in front of you could be involved in illegal drug trade and may in fact have some tainted currency. That's how it ends up in your pocket.
So in our cash and carry world, are you carrying more than cash in your purse or wallet? What if I were to tell you there might be traces of cocaine on this dollar?
On my dollar? Trace of cocaine on my dollar?
I'd probably faint.
Would you believe it?
No.
Most people wouldn't.
Prove it.
Well, we set out to do just that. We first cashed a check for $300 in denominations of hundreds, 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s. We then exchanged money with people from all walks of society from all over the city. $5 from a local radio reporter, $1 from an inner-city 8th grader, $5 from a U.S. Marine, $1 from a sheriff's deputy.
If you want the larger bills, you'd have to see my wife.
Even $20 from an unbelieving nun. If I were to tell you that there was traces of cocaine on this money.
No, because I know where that money's been. It's been sitting in a drawer for a couple of months.
ATAs, please announce arrival of Flight 428, service from Miami and St. Petersburg. The aircraft is on the ground at this time.
We then took the experiment one step further and exchanged $20 with these Hoosiers just back from the fun and sun in Miami.
What if I were to tell you that it's very possible that there is trace evidence of cocaine on this money?
No way!
It's your money.
We took the dollars to AIT laboratories to discover the truth.
How much drugs are in the mail? How much drugs are being transacted every day in Indianapolis, out on the street corners? Nobody knows. We know there's a lot. How much money changes hands? A lot. In virtually every major city, on every street corner, in every school, in every church, wherever there is money, there are illegal drugs. Almost every citizen, black, white, young, old, is an unwitting drug carrier. And we can prove it. We exchanged 13 bills of all denominations with 13 people from all walks of society. A Marine, an inner-city 8th grader, even a Catholic nun.
No, because I know where that money's been. It's been sitting in a drawer for a couple of months.
We set out to see if traces of drugs could be found on their cash. This is how we did it. First stop, AIT Laboratories. Chemist Sarah Roth is one of the testers. First, she identifies each bill. The bill is placed in a bottle, water is added, and the currency is laundered.
I want to make sure that the dollar bill has been soaked completely so that any substances that are sitting on the dollar bill will come off.
Chloroform and another agent are added to the water.
Chloroform's heavier than water, so chloroform's going to be on the bottom. And then after I shake it up for about 5 minutes, the cocaine should come out on the bottom layer.
A centrifuge spins the chloroform to the bottom of the test tube. A machine then evaporates the chloroform, and the remaining substance is placed in a gas chromatograph mass spectrometer, which analyzes the remains for traces of cocaine. What was found is astounding.
So what were the results of the test?
We found cocaine residues on 11 out of the 13.
11 of 13 bills tested positive for cocaine. One of the bills was new. If you exclude that bill, that means 11 of 12.
or 90% of the currency tested positive.
Money is a commodity that we put through our society, and different people handle it. And it shows that people have cocaine in their hands. Certainly users of cocaine have it in their hands, and it gets put on the bills as it passes through society.
Almost all of our participants couldn't believe the results.
I wouldn't think it was that much. You know, I didn't think that drugs itself would play that, you know, a major part in it, but wow.
And this reaction from the Hollingsworths in Greenwood.
I just am amazed, ever since you had mentioned that, the amount of money that's going through drug hands is scary.
It's a sorry indictment of our society that we have to go to drugs. There's a lot of other ways you can get a high.
They've become a staple of our society. The convenience factor is tremendous for people.
Automated teller machine use has tripled over the last 10 years. Last year, we used ATMs more than 9 billion times. That's about 3 deposits, withdrawals, and balance inquiries for every man, woman, and child in the United States. But unfortunately, with convenience comes crime. 9:47 p.m., September 20th, 1996. 26-year-old Joel Good walks up to do business at this ATM on East Washington. This startling bank video shows what happened next.
The guy just walked up on me and stuck something in me. I didn't know what it was. He said, "We're going to draw all this money out." Frustration set in. Next thing I knew, I was on the ground saying, "Help me." You know, I got shot in the neck. I knew I couldn't move my legs the minute I got shot. I knew I was done. I told him if I don't make it, tell my family I love them. I was real depressed at first. I mean, man, I was ready for them to just pull the plug. I mean, I was depressed.
The mental weight of this tragedy has been lifted off Joel Good's shoulders. Now the physical healing can begin. He says he's struggling to stay strong.
38 pounds.
Granted, the east side's, you know, not the best, but I always thought it was pretty safe. It didn't take but a second for me to get, you know, what happened to me, it was just that quick.
Good is one of an estimated 42 people a day who are robbed, mugged, or in some instances killed while being held up using automated teller machines. Good's attacker left him a paraplegic. Now, here at the Rehabilitation Hospital of Indiana, he's learning a new way of living.
That's how I get up.
That's good.
I don't dwell on, you know, anything like that. I try to look to the future, you know what I'm saying?
Let's get your legs off the side of the bed.
I'm not hostile or angry or anything, but, you know, you want to do the crime, you got to do the time. They should get life because we got life. I mean, that's how it is.
Let's go.